Okay, well, he got me the house, and it was nice and all. He made sure he had a key to my place, but nothing. I probably was there for like a couple of weeks, and then I happened to be standing outside. It was a duplex. It was an apartment upstairs. I was outside, and another guy was standing outside there. Wasn't talking to me. I mean, he did say hi, but he wasn't talking to me. And Mr. Harris, he saw, the man out there with me, and he, was like, let's go inside. So it was kind of like a halfway finished basement or whatnot, so he was like, let's go down here away from your mom and the kids. And that was the first time he put his hands on me, choked me because I was out there with that guy. He said that I was like leading him on. And then he,
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
And the first time anything sexual ever happened, it was that time, and it was basically forced. You know what I mean? I was shocked. He choked me, and then that happened. And after it was all done, he said, "Don't be hanging out with that man no more. If you see that man, you walk the other way," and just walked out. But after that, I was like, oh, I said. I felt like since I had the place, it was a roof over my kid's head or whatever, I had to kind of, give him what he wanted. So we did kind of have a relationship, but his wife, which I kind of heard he had a wife, but he never talked about her. Mm-hmm. She came to my door and thought I was pregnant and tried to bring abortion papers and try to say, I'll pay for the abortion or whatnot. And I wasn't pregnant for him. So my mom was like, oh no. She was like, I had already signed up for Metropolitan House, but I started pushing it. And I got a house through Metropolitan and just moved, because I was worried about her. I was worried about him. And I moved, and I didn't see him for a little while. And then he ended up just coming right in my house one day, didn't even say, oh, you didn't even tell me you moved or anything. Just act like he belonged there. And, so after a while, for a little while, I continued to just go ahead and keep the peace, and I was with him in a relationship. And then he just kept putting his hands on me and stuff like that in front of my kids and my mom and dogging my mom and stuff. So I was just like, I made up an excuse. I said, look, you got a family, you got kids, you got a wife. I said, I can't be with you no more. I said, please don't ever come back to my house. Leave me alone. And you don't have to worry about me being with another man. I don't want to be with anybody right now. I just want to be with
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
Yeah, and that kind of thing. And maybe a little while after that, his wife, was in the paper. Well, actually, the guy from Metropolitan was banging on my door, and he was like, his wife got into a car accident. What really happened? Mr. Harris killed his wife to be with you. I'm just kind of brushing it, away or whatever. But I read the article, and I recognized the guy who was in the accident with her, and it was somebody that used to be a mechanic for Mr. Harris, And then probably maybe 3 days after she died, he came to my house, offering to buy me some couches and stuff like that. Said he got some more money, offering to buy me. I've always wanted a leather living room suit, a white leather living room suit. So he offered to buy it or whatever. And I was just like, I really can't, I really still don't want to be with you. And then that's when he was like, you think you ever going to be without me after I got rid of my wife to be with you?
Well, now let me ask you a question. When he made that statement, you think I got rid of my wife and you're not going to be with me, did you ask him what did he meant by that?
I did ask him what he meant by that, and he didn't say anything. He wouldn't tell me anything.
Okay. Now let me ask you this. Okay, after his wife was deceased, was in a car accident, how long did he stay away from you before he came back to start visiting you? Because I'm quite sure after his wife passed away, he was with his family and his kids and was grieving for a while. How long was he gone from you before he came back?
It was 3 days, but people that went to the funeral said that he didn't even have any kind of remorse.
Whoa. Whoa. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So you're telling me after this man's wife died in a car wreck, he stayed gone for 3 days and was back at your doorstep in 3 days?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. And at this point, did that seem kind of odd to you? Because, he was a married man and he got a family, but he's back at your door three days later. Now, did that look odd to you?
Yeah, it was very odd because his spirits was so up. You know what I mean? When he came back, he was like, I'm going to buy you this, I'm going to buy you that. He was just telling me what he was going to buy me. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't interested. I was kind of like scared.
Now, let me ask you a question. Did you fear Mr. Harris at all?
Oh, yeah, especially after that. After that, I was just like, I have to do whatever this man, wants me to do. And if I do try to get away from him, I better, have some money and be out of state. Maybe even have my brother with me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Okay. Now, I let's go back a little bit. You said that you were hanging out on the porch, or you was out with a gentleman was standing on the stoop where you were, and he balked you. He told you to come in. Y'all went in the basement. He choked you for the very first time when he got physical with you, and he raped you this day, right? How many times after that did this man forcefully force himself on you sexually?
Well, see, the thing is, it happened every time he hit me. Like later on, I learned why they do that. But at the time, I guess, I was thinking, oh, he just thinks that I'm just going to forget about it. Maybe I'm not going to go to the police, or it's just going to make everything better, But he would always want to have sex right after it. And I'm not thinking about no sex. My face is all swollen up, or I'm hurting. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he would just, with no emotion at all, just have sex with me and then, walk out the door.
Okay. Now, at any point in your life of this forcible sex, because he was forcing himself on you, okay, did he ever threaten you in any shape or form? If you went to the police, he would do anything to you? Did he ever do that? Or why? What made you?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me about that. Tell me about him threatening you. Tell me about that.
Yeah, he one time, like right after his wife died or whatever.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
We got into a big argument, and, I had a car. I had my own car, and I ended up leaving. You know what I mean? And I came back, and then I walked down the street, and I was just going for a walk, and he pulled up, and he kind of was like, if you don't get in this car, you know what I mean? He said, he's going to take me back to my place, and it was going to be good or whatever. I don't remember exact words, but so I didn't get in the car. So I had this strapless shirt on, and he got out of the car and ripped my whole top off on me. So I didn't have no shirt on in the middle of the project, so I had no choice but to get in his car. So I got in his car, and we went back, and he was very, very physical with me. But after that, I think that probably was the first time he was just like, you go to the cops. Nobody's gonna believe you because I got 5 degrees. I'm a minister. I'm a track coach. I'm a teacher. He said nobody's gonna believe you. Just. And I was like, man, he's probably right. Yeah, he has this money. He didn't buy his way out of anything. For real, because he basically bought his way out of getting in trouble with the 2 domestic violence convictions that he was charged with. It was dropped down from domestic violence to disorderly conduct.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've always known that money talks,
Could you, tell my audience a little bit about the domestic violence charges? Were those against you, or were those against his ex-wife? What his wife did was deceased, or someone else?
Well, he had a menacing. I don't remember who that was by, but I know it was on his record because. But the domestic violences, they were from him putting his hands on me while I was pregnant. It was 2 instances. One I wasn't that far along, and then the other one happened in 2004, and the other one I think happened in 2006. In 2006, I was about 8 months pregnant, and he, wanted me to come back. I was at my mother's. I didn't want to come back, and he ended up like kneeing me in the stomach, and that kind of thing. And my mom, she was just like really upset, and she told the police. And so they took pictures or whatever at the hospital. I was sent to the hospital that time. The other time I didn't go to the hospital, but that time I was just like worried about the baby. And at the hospital even, there was just like, we know somebody did this to you. Can you tell us who? And at first I was a little leery to tell or whatever. And then I eventually told him